Hello, this is part 11 of creating a 2D platformer. Um, Last couple of parts we've been working on our enemies, looking at kind of intermediate scripting with inheritance classes with our enemies, and if we press play we should have this lovely motion with our skeleton enemy where he was walking, stops at idle, and then continues on. Lovely, fantastic. Happy with that, looking all nice and good. So, what I'd like to work on today is we've been doing some player stuff, and as you can see, we've got a player flipping really nicely, as well as I think we have a jump. There we go, it calls up jump as well. Lovely. So, what I would like to do is to look at an attack. So, that's what we're going to do first. So, if we come out of this and we look at our attack animation. If I go to player, drop that down, sprites, animations, actually before we even do that, let's find sprites, night. So we have something called an improved slash. Lovely, fantastic. So what we're going to do is, I don't know why that's idle. That's what is that? It's 4R. I'm hoping that's for. Let's move this over here. If I press play. Cool. Just making sure I'm not on the enemy animations, but I'm on the player animations. Cool. We're going to create an attack animation. So what should we do first? Let's cut these up first, shall we? How many is there? That looks good. Cool, lovely. So if we click onto this, change this to multiple because they need to be cut up. Click apply. I'm also going to. I can't even remember what I think I did. 32 by 32. I can't remember. Let's have a quick look at this. What did I make these by? They are by 34. Oh, I don't know what happened there. I'll cut his head off. Interesting. Right. Okay, I'm not going to do cell by cell size. I'll just do an automatic thing. Cool. So we'll click on these, set to multiple. Let's open our sprite editor. As you can see, they're really tiny, but if we zoom in, he's got a nice little slash attack there. Once again, we've seen this before. Click on slice, type automatic slice. Good job. Click apply. Lovely jubbly. So once we click onto that, we've then got our individual slash animations. So what we're going to do is click onto this, create a new clip, and I'm going to put this animations, enemy walk night controller. This looks good. Cool. So what I'm going to call this is just call this attack. Lovely, and click save, and that can go into there. Cool, then repeat the process, click record, and then I'm going to click onto these chaps. It doesn't look like it's in order, but I'll try it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Drag these over to here. Change this to a sample rate of 10. Press enter. Unrecord, press play. Oh yeah, it's going for it. Lovely, fantastic. That looks very vicious. Cool, so that should automatically add. No, it hasn't. Interesting. Oh no, because this is. Hang on, where's happening here? What's happening here? Come on. There we go. God dear. Heart attack then. So as you can see, we've got our idle to walk, and now we have our attack. I'm going to place our attack here and do transitions from idle to attack and from walk to idle. I don't know how it will look from walk to attack, but I'm going to do it anyway. So what I'm going to do is, what we'll do is idle to attack first, so you understand that process, add a little bit of scripting, and then we'll do our walk to attack and go from there with that. So hopefully we all understand it. Cool, lovely, lovely, lovely. So first thing we're going to do is create our transitions from idle to attack and then attack to idle. So let's do that now. Let's drag that out a bit so we can see what's happening. Yep, cool, lovely. I'm not going to do walk yet. We'll just concentrate on this for now. And then with that, we need to, how are we going to trigger this off? Well, I've already given it away. How are we going to, exactly that. We're going to use a trigger. How are we going to, what parameters are we going to use? So before we've used a float for move, and here we're going to use a trigger. And we can call this, I'm going to call this slash so it doesn't confuse things in the scripting, because if you call something attack but then you're calling up attack but you want the animation attack, it's just, it can confuse things. So I'm just going to call it slash, or maybe slash attack with no space. There we go. Cool. So I'll call that slash attack and we'll trigger that off. Cool. So what I'm going to do with from idle to attack, I'm going to make sure I'm going to uncheck. First thing is uncheck exit time, because essentially when you're walking, we don't want the walking animation to finish before we then attack. We want it to happen straight away. We are then going to add our trigger under conditions. So if you click this, we've got move, we don't want that, we want our slash attack. There we go, that's our trigger added. And then we can change our settings. I'm going to change my transitions duration to 0, and if I play this, we should get a preview. Lovely. Cool, that looks really nice. Cool, lovely. So now we've got that, we can have a look at attack to idle. Well, actually, attack to idle will just be this exact same. If I press play here, that's exactly what I want. We want exit time on because we want the attack to finish before we go back to idle. Let's just see if there is any difference if I change this to 0. I actually might keep that at 0.25 with a little bit of actually there is a bit of a weird jump there, isn't there? That enter. Just that again. There. Yeah, no, I like that. I'm going to keep that the same. So we're going to leave this as it is. So we need to implement this in with a little bit of code. So let's go to our, I think we have got a player animation script. So if you go to scripts, player animation, there we go. So we've got a void update as well. I think we have one of those. Cool. So under our player animation script, we're going to create, just to keep things all nice and tidy, I'm going to create a public void attack method. Cool. Curly brackets. That's lovely. So again, we can just derive from animator. So we can say _anim, and this time we are going to set a trigger, not setting a float, and that trigger is going to be slash attack. So if you do a bracket, do slash attack, semicolon. Cool. So let's quickly save that, and then obviously we need to go over to our player script to call this up. So if you go to player, oh, we've got lots going on here. Right, I'm going to do this in movement because I think it will just be easier. So if you go under here, so under in void update, we can add if, and what did we do before? Input dot get button down. I think it's called fire1. I can never remember this. I'm terrible. It's actually, there we go. I think it's called fire1. Not too sure. Let's quickly go back into Unity. Come on, Unity, what are you doing? If we edit project settings, input fire1, there it is. I looked at it earlier and I've forgotten already. There we go. So we want this to work with our mouse click, which will be 0. So if we look at this, alternative positive button, there we go, mouse 0 under fire1. There we go, fantastic. I was correct. It's a rarity. So under input.get button fire1, what we're going to write is underscore play anim, because we have a variable that we created earlier when we created our move, I believe. Yes, I think we have something for move around here somewhere. That's flipping the sprite. Oh, there it is. There we go. Play anim dot move horizontal input. Fantastic. So for this, we're going to say play anim dot attack, because we're now deriving. Whoops. We're now deriving from our script. So open bracket, close bracket, semicolon. We then can save this, and hopefully we don't have any issues. Let that save. I'm going to ignore whatever that says. Press play. And then hopefully, lovely, there we go. So as soon as I click, I have my attack. If I move, yeah, so if I move, I've now got no attack. You might be able to hear me clicking away like a madman. So I've got nothing there at the moment. But there we go, as soon as I stop, I've got my attack. So there we go. If I go mad, yeah, he just keeps attacking. There we go, fantastic. On click. That's good. I'm glad that's working. Cool, so I'm going to quickly command and save that. And then let's have a look at doing our, well, run or /walk to this as well, because we've got time. We've done 13 minutes, so we've got plenty of time. So if we go back to our animator and have a look from our walk to attack and our attack to our walk, let us create some transitions. So make some transitions. There we go. Cool. So with walk to attack, we are going to make sure has exit time is unchecked, because we want to go straight into our attack, and then we are then going to add our /attack straight away. Cool, and then let's have a look at this duration. Walking, attack. Let's have a look at this transition duration. I know I've said before in previous videos, set it always to 0, but it's sometimes. Oh yeah, that does look good. Cool, I'm gonna leave that at 0. That does look good. I've said before, if you're doing sprite work, you might as well put all transition durations to 0. But then again, I've just gone back on my word, so can you trust me? Probably not. Anyway, that does look good. Then what we're going to do with our attack to walk transition, we want to, what do we want to do? All we want to do is have exit time, because we want our attack to finish. So replay this and then walk. Lovely. We then just want to add the condition of move is greater than 0 because yes, we're back to moving. So the animation will just finish your attack and then because we've got has exit time is on, so it'll go straight into the movement if we are walking. Cool, it will just override the attack animation. Lovely, that is good. So let's us paranoid now. Save this, and then let's play our game and see if this works. So I can attack, so I can move and attack. There we go. So I've got a bit of a slide, but I'm not too bothered about it. It looks kind of cool. Legs are in kind of the same position. Yeah, I'm not too fussed with that. Yeah, okay, looks like it's on an ice rink, but we could maybe add some effects in there or something. Whoa, there we go. We've got some problems with that collider there, but we can sort that out later on. That's cool. No worries. Okay, we can do. Have we got time? I don't know if it's going to do it with the time we have left. Let's us. Because at the moment, if we press play, we've just got our main camera, and our main camera is not doing anything, as we can see in our hierarchy up here. So let us. What should we do? What should we do? Let me think. Yeah, let's give it a pop. So what we're going to do is go up to Window, go to Package Manager, and we're going to use Cinemachine to download, to install and control our camera movement system. And I'm only going to go into this really, really quickly. I'm not going to go into all the ins and outs of Cinemachine because it's got some loads of settings. I suggest just have a play around. It's really kind of self-explanatory. So let's click install, and then hopefully this doesn't crash everything. That seems to be working lovely. Importing scripts. Cool, lovely. That's done that really quick. Thank you, Mac. Cool. So what we're going to do, and now as soon as you've installed Cinemachine, we have Cinemachine up here in our top bar window. So I'm going to click Cinemachine, create virtual camera, and this will add a virtual camera here, CMVCam1 for Cinemachine virtual camera. Let's rename this to let's call it Cine for Cinemachine, and then call it follow camera. Or actually, I've done things before. I just call it CM follow camera. Enter. Lovely. So at the moment, our virtual camera is at minus 402 on the Z-axis. Let's change this to minus 10 because that's what our current camera is. So check what your main camera is. As you can see, my main camera is at minus 10. And change that to minus 10. Then, as you can see, it has this really cool little feature here. It says follow none. So what I want it to do is follow my player. So what I'm going to do is drag my player into there. And there we go. Obviously, I haven't made the rest of my level, but it's centered off my game. So what I'm going to do, and then we can create all these different bits and offsets and dampening of how the camera follows our player. We can also do bits of dead zone width and dead zone height and stuff like that. But if you play this, you can see that this automatically works, and it is absolutely lovely. So there we go. It's following along what's happening with our game. So if I jump, that's going to be a terrible jump. Oh, don't fall over. Oh, he's fallen over. What a plank. But as you can see, the camera is clearly following. Skeleton's not bothered at all. Oh, look at that. You'll never see that again. I'll never be able to do that again. That's some fantastic skills there. Lovely. Let's bring it back. Unlucky. So there we go. I have to sort out this terrain as well because it's terrible. Cool. Lovely. As you can see, the camera will follow the player forever and ever. So hopefully your terrain colliders aren't as sensitive as mine. But yeah, that's good. I'm really happy about that. Yeah, that's it. I hope you've enjoyed the video. We've gone through quite a lot of things quite quick in quick succession. We've got our attack animation sorted out. We've got our run and attack sorted out. We don't need to put any code with that because it's essentially already implemented with our move function and our attack public function in player animation scripts. We've just downloaded Cinemachine really quickly, got it to follow. Have a play with Cinemachine, see what you think of it. It's I think it's a fantastic resource, and also a fantastic resource where you don't have to actually script anything. So if you are wondering how Cinemachine is working, it's working off the main camera. If we look at the main camera, it actually has this icon here, which is called a Cinemachine brain, and essentially it's taking all the data from main camera and creating its own component with its own unique features where we can then obviously create our follow, our player and stuff like that. Cool, see you soon. Hope you've enjoyed this video.